Thank you.
My wife and I have been members here for, I think, about 30 years now, somewhere between 25 and 30. Anyhow, I knew when Father Nathan asked me to say something about stewardship, I was going to be talking about the 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. So I'm just going to give you a couple of thoughts I have on each of them. So on time, we all have the same amount of time. Some are more busy doing other things, but we all have the same amount of minutes in a day, and we can do with it what we want to do. So the first thing you have to do about giving time to the church is show up, which we all have done today. So congratulations. We're giving the first of the big 3 to the church by giving our time today. So if you want to move on from there, then there are other activities you can be involved in that take a little more time. Those are the weekly lifeblood activities of the church, like the acolytes, the choir, the LEMs, the lectors, the altar guild, the tellers, the coffee hour hosts, and also the junior warden for keeping the lights on and the problems fixed, and the treasurer. These all take time. And also they involve talent as well, but the first thing is having the time to do that. And then if you want to get more involved, but you don't have as much time as some of these other chores, there are one-and-done type things like helping out with the crab feast, or delivering turkeys during the holiday sharing time or Christmas time, or helping paint the rectory as needs come up. So, and Blue Jean Sunday type things. So those are things you can just do once and be done. And then there are ongoing activities like, as Father Nathan mentioned, the vestry. And I remember when I was dallying with the thoughts of running for the vestry the second time, I thought, well, I don't know, I've already done it once before, don't really want to give up that time. And Stan, who was the vestry senior warden at the time, said to me, "Bryant, it's only one night a month, come on." I said, "All right, Stan, I'll do it." So I say that to you. It's only one night a month, so please consider running for the vestry. Also, the Guild does a wonderful job of keeping things going behind the scenes here and doing all of our outreach programs. You might want to consider doing some things with them. You can go in and out as needs be. My Brother's Keeper is a wonderful activity that's something you can just dabble in as you have time. So those are ongoing activities that you could do. So then on to the talent part. So there are a number of things that if you have specialized talent that can really help. Number one is the treasurer. The treasurer, if you have any thoughts on doing that, you don't get just slammed into it all at once. You're the treasurer. You do some time as the assistant treasurer and you learn the handover. And it is a very, very valuable service for the church, and we're lucky to have the treasurer that we do right now because he's really talented, but he's eventually going to need some replacement. So if you're thinking about doing anything like that, please step up. There's also the property committee, which does a lot of things that need time and more talent. There's an archivist who keeps track of all of our records going all the way back. I'm sure she can use any help. There's a cemetery committee, an investment committee, and lots of other committees that I don't have time to mention. So if you have any thoughts and time about doing any of that, and especially if you have any talent in those areas, be sure to step up and offer what you can. And then finally, the treasurer activity. And there I have to just give you a little bit about my activity. When we first started here, we just initially just gave plate cash. We didn't pledge. And then eventually we thought, well, that's ridiculous. Why would we not pledge and get the tax deduction? So we started pledging mainly to get the tax deduction. But then we got involved in thinking about it. And also, too, I was on the vestry for the first time. And if you ever look at the treasurer's report that comes out at the annual meeting, you'll see all these different committees all have numbers against them. That's money that has been allocated by taking all the pledges over here, figuring out how much money is coming in, and allocating it to the pigeonholes over here. So if you don't know how much money is coming in, you don't know how much money you can put in the pigeonholes. So there are probably some people who say, well, I give to the church and I put the check in when I want to, but we don't know that at the beginning. So we have no idea if that money is coming in or not. So if you're going to do that, you may as well, number one, get the tax deduction, and number two, make something so that we're able to figure out what that amount coming in is and make a better budget. So I encourage you to pledge and also move up towards the Pharisee level of 10% if you can. That's a high level, but that's the goal we're all supposed to shoot for. And then finally, just to mention one of the things that I was involved in, we all get a a statement at the end of the year on how we did in terms of meeting our pledge. And one year, I always try to be 100% or more, as probably all of you do. And one year, we forgot to get our pledge in at Christmas time, and it came out that we only met like 94% of it. And I felt so crushed that I'd let the church down. So, in years after that, we always made sure it was like 106, 110. I didn't want to be below 100. So I encourage all of you to pay attention to that. And also, too, the church tracks, every time there's a new pledge season, as there is now, the church tracks the number of people who left their pledge at the same level, the number of people who increased it or decreased it. And I encourage you to be one of the people who increase it if it's only a little bit, just because it shows up as an increase and it looks like everybody is moving up rather than down. So please consider that as you come up with your pledge for this season. And finally, last thing, my wife's cousin died earlier this year, and so we were doing his will, and in his will, he left 1/4 of his estate to his church. That's because he didn't have any children, because the children would have been, really crushed if they didn't get any money. But since he didn't have any, he was able to leave 1/4 of it to his church. And I'm sure none of us can afford to leave that much to the church, but I would encourage you all to have some sort of will planning where you can leave some amount to the church consistent with your other needs. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Bryant.